So I just wanted to bring this back down. We had this future view of how would you work with a major company that has millions of users that don't know what crypto is. We also work from the bottom up. So we think of ourselves as a technology company, and so we organize hackathons for small teams to build on, and I wanted to sort of use that as a showcase of where we are with the technology and what we're currently working on, and what also sort of ties to a lot of what Demi was talking about. It's very important in these early years, or I mean I was going to say days, but years, that we experiment a lot. And so what we're trying to build with OpenST is a framework for building these token economies, for making it easy to experiment with rules on-chain, to take away all the putting it into production headaches you would have writing smart contracts. Because we're talking about these primitives in the first section, we're then talking about companies with millions of users, especially those millions of users, but most people on this planet don't have an idea what cryptography is, they don't know what a blockchain is, they don't know how to secure their private key. So if we want to build these systems securely, we need to build more infrastructure to help this enable. Because sort of for me, the general theme of why we do this is we want to enable audiences to become communities. We really want to make sure that they can interact. And so I will just very briefly run over sort of a short story here. One previous winner of a hackathon was a project called Quanda. I think it was a couple of months ago. I don't know if I have volume.
My name is Mark.
Okay, hold on, the volume doesn't come through the speakers, so I doubt you can hear anything, but I'll try with the microphone maybe.
Proof of concept of OST Kit Alpha Phase 2. My name is Mark and I'm the front engineer of this project. Today we would like to introduce you to Quanda, a Q&A platform where you can ask and answer questions and reward users with our token system powered by OST. First we will show you a short explanation of Quanda, and after that Anton will demonstrate a live demo and how we integrated OST in our project. Enjoy!
This is John. John has an important question. He's asking the community on a free Q&A platform for help. This takes time, and in addition, he is unsatisfied with the results. Then he tries Kfunda. On Kfunda, John offers a reward for his question in the form of a cryptocurrency token. Since he has set this reward, he is getting higher quality answers. So, after a short time, John chooses the answer he likes most and rewards the user. With Kfunda, a good answer is valuable.
My name is Anton, and together with Mark, we made...
I will move forward because it's a few minutes long and we're running fast. But the main idea is they're wanting to build the decentralized Quora, right? You post questions, but in order to incentivize people to actually write a proper answer if they would know it, you would put up a bounty. And so we introduce Alice. Alice is very curious, but she doesn't have deep technical knowledge. And even not just Alice, like I really want to bring this back to all of us. I guess I know how to handle keys and Ethereum, but I have about 20 addresses at least that have about 20, 30 cents of ETH in it because I use them to transfer. And so you collect dust everywhere, even if you know how to handle keys. Or I mean, I'm just not well organized and I collect dust everywhere on my keys. But in general, it's a problem, right? Like if we are going to use these every day, first of all, yes, I want to own all my keys, but I don't want to sign and confirm a signed transaction every time I click in some application on a button that actually triggers a reward. So how do you balance those two things? Also, I don't want to necessarily care about OST at all or ETH if I'm interacting on some platform. I only want to know about the tokens that I have. And specifically, I also don't want to have that tied to my password, my keys. And so that sort of gives a lot of work actually is going on to this, but we're also building it into OpenST, where the solution here is to move away from keys holding directly the value, right? So we would want to give every user a smart contract that holds the values for the user, so that she can authorize what we call ephemeral keys that don't have any value. You can lose them, but they allow you to sign transactions for the blockchain from your dApp, and then anyone can present them to the contract to execute, and the contract will also reward the executor for that action. And so the demo video that I skipped, Quanda built a couple of months ago, but what they could do with the new release is really use this fully decentralized architecture now. And so it's very important not just that it's easy for end users, but it's also important that it's easy for programmers, because we can't expect all of these existing developers to become blockchain experts. What we want to enable is that it's very easy to write your own wallet for your app. It's very easy to integrate the SDK into your own app. And so I can skip over this. But then it's, if we have this infrastructure, then now the rules are open, right? That's what we want to achieve. We want to achieve that as an application designer, I can set forth the rules that I think my application needs. For example, Quanda has some escrow functionality where if you want to post a question, you need to put up the money so that you are bound now to pay out a best answer at some point. These rules are open and fair and held on the contract. But you also want it very easy for your users to just click in the web application on a button and not need to be handling keys and all those things. And so this is a bit of a schematic. Steve would post a question and he would sign that from his web app to integrate it to on-chain put forward the money. The obvious thing is Alice now answers the question and Steve selects the best question. And then we also try to make it even easier if you don't want to write any smart contract code. We provide you a UI to it as well. That is still more limited than writing your own smart contracts, of course, at this point. But that's sort of one part that we're working on with technology is like trying to bring it down so that we have a bigger developer audience as well that can write these apps. So in our hackathons, I think right now we have about 140 active teams that are building POCs against this framework. It's open source, so and it's decentralized. You can run it yourself against Robson testnet. But it's important that we provide sort of a framework where they can just focus on writing the incentives for their application, because you can write a lot of things wrong with smart contracts. They don't want to burn the value of their users either. So as much as we want to work on sort of token economics, we also need to build up the infrastructure, because working directly on Ethereum doesn't work. It's too rough as an interface. Anyway. The most important part of this slide is there's free beers at 7 at Bierlo. And with that, I'll wrap this up. Thank you all very much.